Hello everyone, myself I am Marlene Joyce, working as an assistant professor in CSC department of Vigyan Foundation for Science, Technology and Research. I am here to teach you basics of computers and internet subject. So what is the meaning of this basics of computers and internet means? The name itself says it is a very basic introduction to the computer. This subject will make you to explore into a world where you will interact with the computer and how the computer interact back to you. So this subject will make you to explore all the basics that is related to the computers and networks. So it is completely different from the programming. So we will see the basic part of a computer. As we all know that basic definition of a computer is, it is an electronic device which is used for calculations we are saying. But with the modernized world, in a very technical way, if we try to understand what is the meaning of a computer is, computers are integral part of everyday's existence. This is the first point which you have to remember, because integral part of everyday's existence means you are using these computers in our day to day life. Whatever the work you are doing, whatever you are working on, you need the computers. Either it may be a public sector or else private sector or else healthcare sector. Without using the computers, we cannot imagine our work. That is the meaning of integral part of everyday's existence. Next one, modern computers can do more than a calculate. That means modern computers can work more than a calculations we are saying. That means it can work for processing or else for imbibing any kind of videos, audios, or for doing any kind of editing work. That and all imbibes in computers we are saying. So in a technical way, if we try to understand what is the definition of a computer means, we all know that the process of a human. If you consider a human being, we always take the input with the help of an eyes and process whatever the input we have taken with the help of brain, and whatever we have the feeling towards that input, we will output with the help of a mouth. So here three basic things you have to keep it in mind: input, process and output. So if you try to understand this computer definition, it is an electronic device that receives the input, stores and processes the input as per the user's instructions and provides the output in a desired format. So in this slide, if you try to understand, only remember three things: input is eyes, process is brain, output is mouth. So what is the need of a computer? As we have seen the definition of a computer, we will see what is the exact need of a computer. First one, here you can able to see the three blocks of a functioning of computer. First one is accepting the data, next one is processing data into information and produces and stores the result. If you understand the terminologies or the difference between data and information, automatically this particular definition will be solved. So first one, the computer is accepting the data in the form of raw facts, figures and symbols. Second one, it processes data into information. That data is organized or else in an understandable format. Last one is producing and storing the result we are saying. If we know the difference between data and information, we will understand very clearly about what does the computer actually does. So the basic language understandable by the computer will be in the format of a bit format and byte format we are saying. So as we all know that if we want to interact with any of the other person or any of the human, we always need a basic commonality between user as well that other person. That means our language acts as a barrier in conveying the things between two people. Here also, whatever we are giving input to the computer, so in order to make the computer understand, we need bits and bytes. So what is bits means? Either zeros or ones will be called as an bits. What is byte means? It is a combination of 0 or 1. How we are saying the combination as 0 or 1 means? It will be in an octet format. Any of the combination of zeros and ones in an 8 bits format, then we are calling it as byte. So here 1 represent on, 0 represent off. So this thing we will see very clearly in a concept called as number system. So data is representation of fact or idea. For this example, data and information, we will see the example of data 3547. Does 3547 gives any kind of meaning to the person who is reading it? Yes, obviously it gives the meaning, but only not in an understandable way. So it gives the meaning as it is a number which is able to read. Next one, Ahmad, Kuala Lumpur and Malaysia. You are having three different words called as Ahmad, Kuala Lumpur and Malaysia. All these three different words will be called as an data because it is not giving any piece of understandable meaning. So separately we are having only names. So we will see what is information. So in this information, see, instead of giving 3547, I am giving roll number 3547 and then name Ahmad, city Kuala Lumpur, country Malaysia. That means for each and every word there is an associated tag, right? So this is the difference between data and information. Data means it will be either in an understandable or else ununderstandable format. That means it is a collection of raw facts or ideas. Raw facts or ideas is nothing but, these facts and ideas is nothing but collection of words we are saying. So it doesn't mean it forms any kind of meaning. So what is information means? We are associating or we are giving tags for each and every word. Here for this number 3547, we are giving a tag roll number. That means if a X person is trying to read this roll number 3547, he will understand some X person's roll number is 3547. Information is in a meaningful format. That means when a user tries to read it, he will understand the meaning out of that information we are saying. Another example for data and instructions. So here if you understand, you can able to see data and then instruction and then information. As we have seen in the previous slide, what is data and what is information? Data means it will be in an either organized or unorganized way. Information will be surely when X person is reading that information, he will try to understand the meaning out of that information. So in a mathematical way, everyone knows how to perform an addition, right? So here I am performing the addition between 2 and 2. That means I am taking two numbers as an input. That will be data because we have already seen what is data. Data means we are giving the input to the computer. So Data is a collection of raw facts, right? So 2 and 2 are considered as an data. Next one, instruction. Instruction is nothing but process is called as an instruction. That means I am simply giving 2 and 2 I am giving. So what will the computer understand? 2 and 2 means it doesn't understand anything if you give 2 numbers, right? If you say how to work with those 2 numbers, we will use as instruction. Instruction can also be called as process. Instruction can also be called as process. That means we are instructing the computer to perform addition operation between 2 numbers. Last one is information. Information means, see, 2 plus 2 you are having, right, is equal to 4 you are having. If we read out this particular sentence, if we read out this number, can you understand or can you able to analyze any meaning out of 2 and 2? You cannot, right? So, here I am performing the addition between 2 and 2 and I am giving an information. Information can also be called as result. Now we will see the basic workflow of a computer. What is the meaning of a workflow? For example, you consider a scenario. So what is the scenario means? There is a teacher and teacher gives assignment to their class students. So how the class students will take the assignment and how they will submit back to the teacher will be called as an workflow of an assignment. Similarly, here also workflow of a computer means how the computer is taking the input and processing the input taken from the user and gives the output. So, in the previous slides you have already seen input, process, output as well the difference between data and information. So, in this workflow of computer we will go much in detail about workflow of a computer. So, the computer takes the input in the form of a data. If any of your friends comes and argues with you that computer takes input as data or else instructions, so then obviously it will be a wrong. So, keep this thing in mind for your entire subject. Computer always takes data as an input. Now, output. What is meant by output means the processed information by the computer will be called as an information we are saying. What is information? Information will be surely understandable by the user we are saying. Next one, process. So, as we all know that in the first video we have, as we all know that in the first slide we discussed about taken eye as an input, brain as an processor, mouth as an output. So, here brain. So, consider this process as an brain. What does this brain does? It will act according to the input given by the user. So, process performs processing operation on the data. So, how it will perform the operation means in a 2 types it will perform. First one is arithmetic operation, second one is logical operation. What is arithmetic operation and what is logical operation means? If for example, if someone asks you to perform some simple addition between 2 numbers. So, here plus acts as an arithmetic operation. Arithmetic operations are nothing but whenever you are performing addition operation, subtraction, multiplication or division, we all call it as an arithmetic operation. Arithmetic operation is performed between any 2 numbers we are saying. That means in order to perform any kind of calculation, we are using this arithmetic operation. Next one, logical operation. Consider the same example. So here you are having two numbers, 2 and 3. So my question is, which number is the greatest number? That means I am performing comparison operation between these two numbers. So obviously 3 is greater than 2. When 3 is greater than 2, we are saying I am performing comparison operation between two numbers. That itself defines this logical operation. Process can be applied to a data in a two types, arithmetic operation, next one is logical operation. Hope you got the difference between arithmetic operation and logical operation. Now we will see a very important concept. If you understand this particular concept in computer science, you can able to understand the exact or basic function, how this computers works and which part will take the control over which type of data. So if you understand this particular block diagram of computer, you can able to see three very highlighted things. One is input, next one is CPU and then output. So three things, input, central processing unit and output. Here in central processing unit, again the CPU is classified into three types, arithmetic logical unit, control unit, primary storage and secondary storage we are saying. So we will see in detail about the functionality of block diagram of a computer. We all heard about this input, process and output. So what exactly process means, what exactly this processing works will be defined in the central processing unit. So central processing unit is also called as brain of a computer. Why we are saying it as brain of a computer? If you try to understand this concept, you will analyze why it is brain to a computer. First one, you are giving the input to the CPU. Input to the CPU means you are giving with the help of an input device and data will be given as an input. So here you come across three parts, right? So we will see in detail about each and every part. First part is arithmetic and logical unit. What is arithmetic and logical unit means? It is used for performing either arithmetic operation or else logical operation. Next one, control unit. So control unit means, for example, if some X person or else some X section is writing the exam, obviously in that section whom we need a supervisor who will watch over all the students in a classroom. Similarly, control unit does not perform any kind of processing operation. That means it does not perform any kind of operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication or any comparison. It will only take control over all other parts in a CPU. Next one, here comes the main important thing, primary storage and secondary storage. See, if you understand this workflow, you will clearly understand what is the block diagram of a computer. There is a instruction 2 plus 2, right? So this instruction is given as an input to the central processing unit. As soon as the CPU takes the input 2 and 2, then I am having addition operation. So in order to perform any kind of addition operation, obviously we need arithmetic logical unit, right? So it won't directly go from input to the arithmetic logical unit. First, the input given by the user will be stored in a primary storage. So whatever the input it is, whatever the data you are giving to the computer, it will be temporarily. Primary storage means it is temporarily storing the data. Whatever the data, it will be taken by the primary storage. Then this primary storage will navigate that data with the help of a control unit. Obviously, control unit acts as a monitors. It won't perform any kind of operation, right? So it will forward the data to arithmetic logical unit. So arithmetic logical unit functionality we have already seen. It will perform addition operation or whatever the arithmetic and logical operations are there, and then gives the output we see. So here you are having 2 plus 2. It has to perform operation between 2 plus 2. That means it should make use of a addition operation, and the answer is 4. So this answer will be directed to the secondary storage device. Secondary storage device is permanent storage, and it will holds the output. So after getting output to the secondary storage device, it will give the output to the user who is sitting in front of the computer as 4. So if you try to understand the block diagram of a computer. So first one is input. The input is given to the CPU. So CPU consists of 3 parts: storage unit, control unit, arithmetic logical unit. So we will see one by one. First one is storage unit. So storage unit means the input, whatever the input we are having, whatever the input we are giving to the computer will be taken by the primary storage, and it will forward the data to the arithmetic logical unit with the help of a mediator called as control unit, and then processed output will be sent to the secondary storage. So if you know the difference between primary versus secondary, primary is always a temporary storage, secondary is always a permanent storage. Why we are saying this as temporary and permanent means, in case of temporary, once the computer is turned off, obviously all the data will be vanished. If it is stored in secondary storage device, obviously even though there is a power off, we can able to hold the data. So that is the difference between primary and secondary. The processed output will be given to the output as an information we are saying. Simple or result will be given as an information. First one is input. So for this input, we will see in detail about the functioning of all the input devices. Input will be given with the help of input device. It accepts or read the information and data from outside world. For example, we want to write any of the exam. Obviously, we need a paper, right? So similarly, here also, in order to give our instructions to the computer, we need a device called as an input devices. As you all are learning from since childhood, the basic input devices are keyboard, mouse, joystick and camera. Next one is output. So output means the produced result should be displayed to the user with the help of an output devices called as monitor, projector, printer, plotter and speaker. Next one, central processing unit. So central processing unit we have already seen. Storage unit means primary and secondary storage. Arithmetic logical unit means arithmetic operations and logical operations. Control unit is used for, always remember, it has a power to manage or supervise or monitor the working of all other devices in CPU. So hope this basic workflow or the block diagram of a computer is clear to you. Input, process and output. Now we will see the characteristics of a computer. So the general term of characteristics means, for example, you want to introduce any of your family members to others. Obviously, you will say it as this person is so and so as well. If that X person is not able to understand how you are saying about the relationship, obviously you will start describing about he looks very taller, he is having grey color hair, he is having grey color eyes. In that way, you will describe the qualities of a person. So qualities of a person is nothing but a characteristics in order to make others to understand who hasn't seen. So you have to say about the characteristics. Similarly, characteristics of computers consists of, first characteristic is speed. As we all know that whenever we are doing calculations in the calculator or else a computer, obviously compared to the human being, we can expect the computer to work extremely in a fast rate. So it is very good characteristics of a computer whenever we are saying it as speed. Next one is accuracy. Accuracy. Whenever you are talking about accurate, you won't say 100% as an accurate. So you will say 99.99% value as an accurate. Why we are saying 99.99% as an accurate means, accuracy itself says nearby value but not 100%. So whatever the performance or whatever the operations performed by the computer, it will be accurate in nature, because the computers are designed by the human itself. We cannot say that computers are better than the humans. So it will produce the accurate value, nothing but nearby value we are saying. Next one, reliability. What is the meaning of a reliability means? For example, you consider two persons, X and Y. So X gives 500 rupees to the Y person. X gives 500 rupees to Y. So when we will say reliability between X and Y means, when Y return backs 500 rupees to the X, then we say that X is reliable on the Y. That means X person is trusting that Y will give back the money to us. Similarly, reliability means our performance. We will simply give input to the system and we will expect for surely the computer will give back the output to us that is very accurate in nature. So measurement of performance will be called as an reliability. Next one, storage capability. So for this storage capability, if you take all the electronic device, you are having one mobile, another one is your computer and another one is your tape recorder. Obviously, which one will have the capabilities to store more amount of data? It depends upon the type of computer you are using. So even though it is a comparison with mobile as well the tape recorder, the computer holds the large amount of data. So next one is versatility. Versatility means the computer is capable of performing multiple tasks simultaneously. You have to understand what is the meaning of simultaneously. Simultaneously means when I am performing or when I am doing one work, so at the same time I am doing another work also. So if you consider in a real time example, you are opening your computer and in your computer you are doing assignment given by your teacher, and parallelly you are listening to the songs, and parallelly you are watching the Facebook, and parallelly you are doing the Google. Whenever you are working with the Facebook, whatever the assignment given by the teacher won't be terminated. That means all the tasks are performed simultaneously without disturbing the other task. That is called as an versatility. Next one is diligence. What is diligence? As we all know that humans are very much lazy in doing their work. Either it may be any kind of human, no matter how much ever he is active, at one point of time we need a break from our work. So diligent is the computer doesn't ask for any kind of rest or any kind of break. Whatever the work you have given, until and unless you switch off your computer, it won't terminate the task, or it won't say to the user, no, today I won't work, tomorrow I will continue the remaining work. That means diligence is computer does not suffer from laziness in brief. So if you consider in a technical way, computers being a machine, they do not suffer from tiredness and lack of concentration. Next one, resource sharing. As we all know that sharing is nothing but we bring our lunch box and we will give the other students our lunch box. Similarly, whatever the assignments we are having, we will share with others. For example, one person attended the family function. So he is the one who captured all the photographs in that function. So rest of all other family members, consider there are 9 family members. So all the 8 family members need the photographs captured by that person. So obviously he need to share the resource, right? Resources are nothing but either the media or else data or information will be called as an resource. So resource sharing means whatever the data or information you are having, you are sharing with the others also. The same or exact information shared to the others will be called as resource sharing. So in brief, if you understand these characteristics of computer, if someone comes and asks you what is the need of having a computer, you can quickly say these points: speed, accuracy, reliability, storage capability, versatility, diligence and resource sharing. Next one, for every task or for every operation we are doing, we need the advantages and disadvantages, right? So these are only some basic advantages of a computer. If you Google or else if you go through your textbook, you will find more number of advantages. These are the very basic advantages of a computer. First one is speed, as you already know. So whenever you are giving some task to the computer, without saying no to our work, it will process the information no matter how much ever time it is. Next one, reliability. Reliability means we are giving a task to the computer by having a trust on that computer. It will perform some task. Next one, consistency. Consistency means, if you understand this consistency term, that means whatever the data you are storing, it won't be deleted until and unless you press on delete option in your computer. That means without asking your permission, computer does not do any kind of operation. So that is consistency. Next one is storage. Next one is communication. So storage we have already discussed in the characteristics. What is communication means? Computers are very much useful in advancement of communicating with the others. What is advancement of a communicating? Example, you are sitting in India and you want to say hi to the person who is sitting in the US. Obviously, your communication is possible in a tip of seconds, right? So, communication means you are delivering the things or you are sharing the things no matter the distance, no matter it is a time, no matter whether it is a space. So, you are delivering the content from one place to another place. Next one is disadvantages of a computer. You all know that whenever you are having one particular device or whenever you are having one particular object with you, it will have both flaws as well advantages, right? We have already seen advantages. We will see the disadvantages. Violation of privacy. What is the meaning of violation of privacy means? For example, there is one person whose name is John. He went to internet center. He went to internet center, or else you can say it as cyber cave. He went to cyber cave. If he tries to access his email in the cyber cave, obviously some other friend of John tried calling this John to come fast to the home. So obviously this John forgets to log out the information or log out his mails in the cyber cave. So there is another person whose name is Job. He comes and he sits in the same place. Obviously he will try to access the content or else emails of this John because he hasn't logged out or he hasn't signed out the information. There are so many violations of privacy. So this is one particular example for violation of privacy. Taking others' content, I repeat, taking others' content without their consent is called as an violation of privacy. Next one is impact of labor force. Labor force is nothing but if we want to work with multiple computers, one work is shared between multiple people. We need so many people to work on that particular task. So, impact on labor force means we are sharing the same information with multiple people or with multiple computers. So, obviously we need to invest on the computers, right? So, that is the meaning of impact on labor force. Next one is health risk. Obviously, there is a saying called as anything in excess is not good. So, if we use any of the mobile devices or any of the electronic devices continuously, there is a threat of health risk. Obviously, whenever you watch movie in the computer, you will lean your body on the computer and you will start watching. It affects the spine only if you continuously watch movies by kneeling down on the computers. So, health risk is obviously common if you use the device in a excess way. Next one is impact on environment. So, same thing is applicable to the impact on environment. What is impact of environment means? When you are using the computers, you need to consume so much of electricity, right? So, if you continuously use the electricity, obviously it is not directly affecting the environment, but indirectly it affects the environment because that waves and all will take an hazardous result to the environment we are saying. So, these are the basic disadvantages of a computer: violation of privacy, impact on labor force, health risk, impact on environment. Next one is importance to computer. So you have to understand the difference between characteristics, advantages, disadvantages and importance of a computer. Characteristics means we are specifying the qualities of a computer. That means likewise we specify the qualities of a person whenever we are introducing the person to other person. So similarly we are saying the qualities as a characteristics. Advantages means how it is making the humans to reduce their work. Disadvantage means how it is impacting on the humans. Here importance of a computer. What is this importance of a computer means? So importance is nothing but applications where and all these computers are used in our day to day life. First one, personal and home uses. As you all know that every person uses the computers in order to do their personal works or else office works. So for a personal works we will shop online. Nothing but we consider or we call it as e-commerce. E-commerce is nothing but buying anything with the help of an internet, right? So shopping and online is a basic personal home uses. Next one is playing games with other people. If you want to play games in the computer, then also you will make use of a computer. Next one is work from home. For example, if you consider this lockdown, obviously you are using the computers in order to watch the video lectures delivered by the faculty, right? So working from home means whenever you are doing some work from home with the help of a computers will be called as an work from home you are saying. Next one is business use. In case of business use, so if you consider Vigyan University as one business use, so this is a organization which maintains large amount of data or large amount of information. Either it may be related to students or else related to the faculty or else related to the academics. For any kind of data it maintains large storage it will maintain. Whenever you are talking about the large storage of data or large amount of information at hand, so we consider it as database. Database means you are having faculty information plus student information plus academic information. So all this data will be stored in a database. So we are not talking about one faculty, we are not talking about one student, we are not talking about only one academic related to the students. We are talking as on whole. That means we are collecting large amount of data and storing it in a database. So in a simple way, when you want to store plenty of information, we use database. So what is the need of this database means? If you understand the difference between file versus database, you will understand very clearly about need of this. You are having 10 papers with you or 10 student information with you and you are storing those 10 student information in the file. So similar 100 student details are there and you are storing the 100 student detail in the database. So if I ask some X person to come and check out the person whose name is Hima, so pick out that student's information. Obviously if it is file, you have to search each and every page. In case of database, if I give the roll number of Hima, I can easily get the data of Hima within a fraction of second. That is what here makes ordering and tracking resource quicker and easier. That means if you want to pick some information from large volume of data, we can able to pick that information with the help of database. So this databases will be one of the importance of a computer, and you can able to see these databases only in business. Next one is educational use. Obviously, whenever you are talking about the educational use, you are talking about the internet, right? So, in order to connect all the students, and colleagues or any kind of content, we are using computers or internet in case of educational uses. Next one, communication uses. We have already seen the basic definition of this communication. When you are sharing your content, or else when you are talking, or when you are having transfer of your resources to the other person, irrespective of the place, that means across the whole world, then we call it as an communication. So, either it may be nearby person or else across the globe. If you are considering, we are saying it as a communication use. These computers are also used in a communication purpose when they are present across the world very easily. Now we will summarize all the topics which we have discussed till now. So, we have discussed what is the meaning of a computer and basic workflow of a computer, block diagram of a computer, then importance of a computer, characteristics of a computer, advantages and disadvantages of a computer. Hope all these parts or all these lessons will make you to understand the basic need why we need a computer, right? In tomorrow's class, we will see about the generations of computers and types of computers and their usage. Hope you will revise all the topics and make the better understanding with the assessment I am going to give you. Thank you.